She had been forgotten, set aside, silenced. Her future taken from her, and the man who could have helped her did nothing. But Tamar wasn't weak. She was watching, waiting, and one day she made a move that would expose everything and change history forever. Judah was one of the sons of Jacob, a man of influence, a man of position, a man of wealth. But at this moment, he stepped away from his family, away from accountability, and if you would say almost away from the covenant. And he settled among the Canaanites. There he built a life. He married. He had 3 sons, Onan, and Shelah. Everything looked stable, normal. But beneath the surface, something was already off course. Was ready for marriage, and Tamar was brought into Judah's family as the wife of She came with hope, with expectation, with dreams of building a future. But that future ended suddenly. Was wicked before God. He did so many wicked things in the sight of the Lord, and without warning, God struck him. He died. Tamar became a widow. Just like that. Her life paused. Her future uncertain. Where does she go from there, in that culture? A sacred duty existed. If a man died without children, his brother must take the widow as wife to raise a child in the dead brother's name. So Judah gave Tamar to his second son, Onan. But Onan didn't want that responsibility. He knew something important. Any child born through Tamar would not be considered his. It would carry his late brother's name, not his legacy. So Onan made a deliberate choice. Each time he went into Tamar, as the custom required, he poured his seed on the ground. He made sure she would not conceive. He used her body for pleasure, but refused to fulfill the purpose of the union. He deliberately prevented life from being created, so he could enjoy the act, without accepting the responsibility. It was calculated, selfish, and deeply dishonorable. And because of that, God struck him down. He died. Now Tamar had lost 2 husbands, not because of her actions, but because of the wickedness of the men she had married. Only 1 son remained, Shelah, the youngest. So Judah made a promise. He said to Tamar, "Stay a widow in your father's house until Shelah grows up, and I will give you to him as a wife." Tamar obeyed. She waited. Days turned into months, months into years. Shelah grew up, but Judah never fulfilled his promise. Maybe he was afraid. Maybe he blamed Tamar. Maybe he thought she was the problem, not wanting to lose 3 sons to 1 woman. So he left her there, trapped. No husband, no children, no future, bound to a family that refused to restore her. At some point, Tamar saw clearly. This wasn't delay. This was deliberate. This was betrayal. No one was coming. No one was going to keep their word. And if she did nothing, her name would disappear. Her future would die with her. But Tamar refused to be erased. She began to think, to watch, to plan. Then the moment came. Judah's wife died. After a period of mourning, Judah set out on a journey. He was traveling to Timnah to oversee the shearing of his sheep, a time of business, but also celebration. Tamar got information. She heard about his route. She knew exactly where he would pass, at the entrance to Enaim. This wasn't coincidence. This was strategy. So Tamar acted. She removed her widow's garments, the symbol of her waiting. She covered herself with a veil, disguised her identity, and positioned herself right along Judah's path, waiting. Judah saw her, but he didn't recognize her. He assumed she was a prostitute, and he approached her. With a clear intention, he wanted to sleep with her. No questions, no hesitation, just desire. Tamar didn't resist, But she controlled the moment. She asked, "What will you give me?" Judah promised a young goat from his flock. But Tamar knew better. She demanded a pledge, something personal, something undeniable. Your seal, your cord, your staff. These were not random objects. They were identity, authority, proof. Judah handed them over, not knowing the trap he was entering. And then he lay with her and satisfied himself, and went on his way, not knowing she was his own daughter-in-law. And in that moment, Tamar conceived. Afterward, Tamar left quietly. She removed the disguise and returned to her life. Judah later sent the goat, but she was nowhere to be found. No trace, no evidence. Then months passed, and the news spread. Tamar is pregnant. Judah reacted instantly. Anger, rage, hypocrisy, judgment. Bring her out. Let her be burned. Then came the day of judgment and punishment, when the elders of the people gathered. Tamar was brought in. She didn't argue. She didn't shout. She didn't defend herself emotionally. She responded with precision. She displayed the items Judah used as pledge. "I am pregnant by the man who owns these." Then she presented the items, the seal, the cord, the staff. Everyone was silent. Judah looked, and everything collapsed. There was no denial, no escape. And then Judah said, "She is more righteous than I." Because he had failed. He broke his promise. He denied her a future. And she forced the truth into the light. Tamar gave birth to twins, Perez and Zerah. And from Perez would come generations of kings. And eventually, Jesus himself. A story that began in silence became part of redemption history. This is not a comfortable story. It's messy, complicated, unexpected. But it reveals something powerful. God still works. Through broken systems, through failed leadership, through injustice, through silence. Tamar wasn't just surviving. She was positioned in a story bigger than herself. So let me ask you, have you ever felt overlooked, forgotten, delayed, like life passed you by? What if this is not the end of your story? What if you're still in the middle of it? Comment below. My story isn't finished yet. Like this video if this opened your eyes. Share this with someone who feels stuck right now, and subscribe for more powerful Bible stories that most people avoid. Because sometimes the stories people skip are the ones that change everything.